Hey guys, it's Ellie, and in today's video we are discussing the quick and easy way to effective speaking. This is a book by Dale Carnegie, and I found some really great lessons from this book regarding how to speak effectively in private, public, and mostly actually in public, because we all excel at speaking in private. Now, something we all will agree upon is that we are scared of speaking on the stage. 95% above 95% people say that they are afraid of going on the stage and speaking to the public, and usually it is because they are scared, they are afraid, they are not in the position to go out there and speak to a crowd, and that's why when they are there they feel like they are gonna mess it up. And I have faced that too, and I've messed up many times. Like I'll tell you guys the stories after this video is over. But in this book, the key takeaway is that no one is, not afraid of speaking on stage. Even professionals have said that they have felt afraid of speaking on stage even after so many years of experience. So if you are afraid of speaking on stage, that's totally okay. It can be overcome with confidence and enthusiasm. That brings me to the first thing that I learned in this book, which has helped me a lot, is act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Now, one of the most common comments that I get in the comment section of my videos is that, Helly, I love your energy. Helly, I love your enthusiasm. Your enthusiasm is so infectious. I have started reading books because of you. And thank you so much for those of you who comment that. The thing is, yeah, that is really true. If you are enthusiastic, if you're acting enthusiastic, you'll be enthusiastic. There's no way that you can say, hey, let's go, and still feel not like going, right? So it totally depends on the attitude you have while speaking, how you will deliver a speech. Now, I have seen the worst kinds of speeches being delivered so enthusiastically that the audience was moved and they didn't even realize what was being said was pretty shitty. But that's the talent of that guy who was giving the speech. His enthusiasm shrouded his, the blank speech that he just gave and went off the stage, and people were cheering him because of his enthusiasm. One thing that you will find common in all good speakers, they are enthusiastic. And yeah, if you want to be an effective speaker, you have to know how to be enthusiastic while speaking to people. While you're on your journey to enhance your speaking abilities, you need to seize every opportunity to practice. This is point number 2. You need to practice every moment that you get. If you have a chance to, deliver a message to the classroom, do it. Don't ask anyone else to stand and give the message to the rest of the class. Do it yourself. If you have to say something to your colleagues, gather them and tell them tell the topic in front of them. Like, start with 2 or 3 people, maybe speaking to 2-3 people at the same time. Maintaining eye contact with all of them at the same time is not possible, but even if you can just rotate your eyes between 3 of them, I have found this in my personal experience. Eye contact makes everything way better than it is, except when you're speaking to a big crowd. Obviously that's not really possible. Now, the thing is, once you start giving messages and speaking to 2 to 3 people at once and then 10 people at once, slowly you will gain confidence as a speaker. No speaker has given a perfect speech on their first day. No one in the history, never. That's because speaking is an art, and in fact it's a more difficult art than even singing or dancing. Yeah, I saw this, report where about 80% people said that they'd rather sing in front of an audience than speak in front of an audience. That is because speaking is definitely more intimidating, but with practice it gets fine. Also, make sure you predetermine your goal, and your goal is always in sight. If you want to speak effectively without any reason at all, that won't be very well for you, because you'll not feel motivated at all. So what is the reason because of which you want to speak effectively? Do you want to be taken seriously? Do you want to progress in your work? Do you want to progress in your academics? What is the reason for it? Know your reason, know your why, and the sooner you know your why, the sooner you'll get to your goal. And always keep that goal in mind while you're practicing, while you're seizing the opportunities, while you're messing up. When your goal is in front of your eyes, all these things will fall very small. Next step was the best step that I've ever come across, and that is speak only about the things that you know very well about. Speak about things which you have experienced in your life. Speak about things you're passionate about. And that is exactly when you can speak unstoppable. I have personally found that it's very difficult to speak on a topic that you don't relate to, on a topic someone else gave you, or on a topic that you just don't like. But if you are asked to speak about your passion, by the way, comment below what is your passion. And if I asked you to speak about your passion, teach me how you learned it, you'll probably go on for an hour. You'll easily be able to go on for an hour if I asked you to speak about something you know about. So that is the key to giving a successful speech or to speaking effectively. You need to know what you're talking about. You need to have that confidence. If you don't have that confidence and you are doubting yourself while speaking, you will stammer and you will not be able to deliver a speech properly, which will make the audience doubt you as well. So make sure that when you're giving a speech, you know what you're talking about. This involves a lot of background research, so make sure you do your part. The last 2 tips that I saved for you guys from this book was that be sure that you're excited to talk about your subject. Don't talk about something that you're not excited about, and be excited to talk to your listeners. Whoever is listening to you is a human being just like you. They also have their set of insecurities. They also have their set of worries. They also know that speaking is not that easy. One of the most important things you need to remember is that when you're speaking to someone, if you are eager to speak to them, you will not make any mistakes. Do you make any mistakes in speaking while talking to your mother, father, relatives, your friends? No, right? Because you know them, you're eager to speak to them and tell them what has happened to you. Similarly, when you're speaking to an unknown audience, just think that you know them. Think that they are excited to know you, which they most probably are. Make sure that you know that your listeners love you, and that will make you very, very enthusiastic to talk to them and eager to talk to them. And also, even if you make any mistakes, you can just say sorry and move on. One of the best TED Talks that I've ever seen was by Tanya Khanejo, who's a travel blogger, and she just gave a TED Talks. I forgot what the location was, but throughout the speech she was stammering at certain parts, but she didn't stop, and she stammered like a person who's just starting public speaking. And I loved that. Why? Because she kept going on despite the mistakes. That is probably because she knew that it's okay to make mistakes, and she also knew that the audience was eager to listen to her. I highly suggest you guys to check out her TED Talks. Usually I have only seen amazing TED Talks which have people speaking flawlessly, but that's totally not the 100% part of TED Talks. Even TED Talk speakers are often have mistakes while they're speaking. So if you make mistakes in speaking, I don't think that's a big deal. Just keep improving every day, seize every opportunity, be eager to speak about your subject, know what you're talking about, and you'll be fine in your journey of practicing your effective speaking abilities. I hope you guys liked today's video. Now, the lessons from this book are mainly inside this video, but there are many more things inside this book which you can check out if you want to. I'll leave the link to buy this book in the description below. I will also recommend quite a few books from Storytel if you want to improve your speaking abilities, your English speaking abilities. Note that this video was about speaking abilities and not English speaking abilities specifically. No matter which language you speak in, if you are following these steps, it will be very easy for you to excel. Also, keep in mind that you can not be able to speak fluently in any language and still do fine in life. Don't stress over not being able to speak fluently. Obviously, fluent speech helps. It helps. But it's not, the end goal of anyone. Your end goal must be improving the society, people's lives, etc. And I don't think language has much to do with that, although it surely helps, which is why I made today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a comment below with what tip you liked the best. If you have any tips for effective speaking, please leave them in the comment section below. I made a video on speaking after a long time, so I hope you guys liked it. And now about the story that I was gonna tell you guys. So the thing is, this was not really a public speaking thing, but I was asked to ask a question to the CEO of a bank who had come to our school. I was in the 11th or 12th standard back then. and sir gave me the mic and also gave me a chit of paper on which there was a question written. I think the question was, how do you deal with poor people not paying their debts? So this was the question. Like, it was a very simple question, honestly. I totally forgot. When I stood up, I just said, good morning, sir, to the CEO, and then I forgot what I was supposed to say. And I kept staring at that man for almost a minute, and that man kept staring at me. It was so awkward, and my teachers were staring at me. It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. But after 1 minute of standing and looking at that man's face, I remembered the question and I asked it, and he answered it really well. And I really liked the answer. So I'll also say the answer. He said that poor people are much more hardworking than the rich people. That's why they don't really need to worry about them not paying their debts. They always work very hard and don't leave any debts due. And yeah, I really think that's true. I think poor people are the most hardworking people ever. So I liked his answer, but yeah, that was the sort of situation I was in. And just before that, just a few months before that, I had won an award at a declamation competition, and even after that I have won an award at a debate competition. But the thing is, yeah, I effed up at that time, big time. Also, I had once upon a time, after the first declamation round where I won, we went to the state declamation, or was it the regional? I forgot what it was. But in that part, I did really bad. I couldn't speak. I forgot what my speech was. But it's okay. I just continued anyway, and I obviously didn't win even the third runner-up award. But then it's okay. It was good that I didn't stop and kept speaking nevertheless, even though I forgot. It was just the big crowd. Although the second time when I went to the debate, it was a much bigger crowd. So the thing is, what I learned from my experience is that every time you speak, there will be times which will go very well, there will be times which will go very bad. But I guess it's just about going on, no matter what happens. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my experience. I'll be back with another video next week. Till then, bye bye.